Folks, what's going on? I'm the Heir of Carthage, and welcome back to the WARGROVES of WoE, where Drycha provides the Wargroves and her enemies provide the woe. And there will be a great deal of woe from the vampires soon. You can see them here. Now, before we go and just lay down a big old branch beating all the way down to the roots of the vampire. Yes, yeah, I know. We're going low here. I'm gonna move back to the Griffin Wood and rearm and re-equip. That way we can be, I think, best prepared to deal with vampire threats such as like armored cavalry or other things. And as much as I like some of these units here, we're gonna want to be a little better armed and equipped to go assault a couple of large vampire fortresses. So we will take care of that. Just a matter of time, right? Until then, I'm going to go ahead and end a turn, and like I said, start re-equipping. Now, we've got a skill point available on Drycha. This Scent of Blood is a really good one, because it gives frenzy to all those forest animals that you can recruit. We can't get it yet, but we can get a ward save for Treekin, which is incredible. So we're going to put that on there, and make our Treekin a lot stronger, because Treekin are going to be an important part of any army that we're rocking with Drycha here, especially if it's going to be mostly true to the fact that Drycha is going to be pretty much an all forest faction here. I know some of you don't want me using any pointy ears in her armies. I probably will use a couple of pointy ears in her army, but nothing extensive. We're going to, for the most part, I'm going to work on getting the siege holdout time. I'm going to work on, for the most part, having her army be all based around the forest spirits. I'm going to take a couple of comments here, though. Ryan from the last episode said, loving this campaign. If you ever recruit another tree lord, I say you name him Deku the Great Tree or the Great Deku Tree. So I will. I love The Legend of Zelda. I play Breath of the Wild all the time. I think I've beat it like 6 times, and I'm working on it again with my kids. I'm going to play the crap out of that game until the next one comes out. Yeah, the vampires are going to sit here and kind of be a pest, but I'm not really worried about it. The forest is fully healed, so it's really not even a big deal at this point. So we'll retake Essen as soon as we can. Greenpeace. That sounds very peaceful. Oh, we need that Untainted to make up for that Chaos Sword that I'm carrying around that I shouldn't be. Kai Wilcoxon says, is it just me being cynical, or is it ironic that Drycha can select wood as a trading resource from Kappelberg? Shots fired, CA. Shots fired. Yikes! He makes a good point, though. Why would Drycha be trading wood from the forest to humans, or anybody else? She hates everybody. Is there anybody that Drycha doesn't hate at this point? You know, I'm pretty sure she hates everybody. I'm trying to think which of these units I want to keep at the moment, because we're going to need a more substantive army. Like, I'm going to try and make up some words here. Zotes. We definitely want some Zotes. I mean, as much as I like the giant spiders and stuff, do I want to keep I mean, I like the giant spiders. They're really cool. They're actually pretty decent here with the armor and the poison and such, too. I'm kind of thinking the great hawks, though. Do I keep... I know I want a couple Zotes, because this will help us deal with vampire cavalry quite effectively. We're going to want more Treekin, and we probably want another Tree Man. That'll add a pretty stout, substantive piece to our army. To be fair, though, we should probably have a couple of archers for the army, but I guess for now we'll just stick to this mostly no pointy-eared configuration here, except for our one glamored Waystalker. Let's go ahead and start recruiting these units. Just having the 2 Zotes would give us a huge capability against vampire cavalry. Anything outside of Blood Knights will not fare well against Zotes, because the Zotes have a bonus versus large. They deal magical damage, and then they also have a special ability that makes a target lose magic resistance, and if they don't have any, it goes negative, which means that they become even more effective versus the target that they're fighting. So let's see, let's get our Treekin. I think Aspect of the Willow is continued to be fine now, because we get all that extra AP. It takes away a bunch of their armor piercing, but I mean, Treekin aren't really made to bust through armor anyway. At least not in the current state. You can get them that extra, but then we did just get a ward save ability. We could swap these guys over to Aspect of Birch, and the ward save will make up for the physical resistance that we lose here. Overall, they would still be a bit weaker than they would be, but when we pick up that armor piercing and the extra speed, that could be a really cool change, actually. Let's do that, because we have that ward save. So this will kind of offset. And plus, the ward save is protection against everything, not just the, oh, what do you call it? Not just against magic, or physical attacks. It protects against all attacks. Wow, I really got tongue-tied there for a minute. Alright, so we've got these guys aspect out in Birch now. Griffinwood. Let's build up our defenses in case anybody comes in behind us. One more turn, and our army will be in a proper condition to fight the vampires. And we will go pay them back for their insignificant raids into our heathlands. Let's get some more comments here. Sileria says, Manfred, I am Lord of the Shade. And then Elven Archer say, then our arrows shall block out the sun. Yeah, I don't have a lot of archers right now, but I will have some archers in another army. I'm just trying to stick to a nice forest-friendly theme here with Drycha. The vampires are really asking for a beating, and a beating they shall receive. My trees will be causing quite a bit more AP damage now. Alright, I'm going to move right over here, so that way Nagenhof will be easily in range. I may swap these Hawk Riders out for something different soon. Like, I don't know. The Hawk Riders aren't bad. They do good charge, good armor-piercing weapon strength. It's just their melee attack is a bit underwhelming, and their armor is really low, so that's really the only downsides. Go with Aspect of the Birch on this guy, too. Go ahead and repair this. And let's end our turn. Frozen Lime Mix says, the fact that Drycha doesn't have rebalanced garrisons seems really lazy. It does, a little. I agree with that. Like, her garrisons should have a whole lot more tree units that were rethought through because of the glamored elves. But it's not going to make a huge difference in the end, but I do think it is a bit lazy in the sense that the garrison should have been much more tree-centric. So, I agree with you in that sense. There was a couple of things, and they already mentioned one of them, so CA mentioned, yeah, the Forge of Daith is pretty underwhelming. We're going to make some changes to it. I don't know exactly when we'll see those changes, but it was good to see them admit that, because I felt like that was the case. Pretty early on, when I was playing this, the Forge of Daith was just pretty lame compared to Throth's Flesh Laboratory, so glad to see that. Zaven says, Drycha Fertilizer Delivery Service now delivering to your forest too. Also, I have no idea why Tree Marathi comment made you laugh. Well, because she kind of is Tree Marathi, and it's hilarious. I mean, a little less debauchery. Oh, I don't know. Maybe Drycha's into a lot of debauchery, and we're not here to judge her for that, you know? If she's into all that debauchery, then, you know, you do you, Drycha. But I'm just saying, like, she is a lot like Marathi in many ways. They even share some of the same lore of magic. So, let's see here. I'm going to go in a fairly standard formation where my Dryads are following up behind a tree-reinforced main line. So it'll look something like this. I'll put Drycha right in the middle of it. So see, the heavy tree units here will block any charges into the Dryad force. The spiders and the hawks, actually I'm gonna have the spiders combine with these zotes on each flank. The spiders combine with the zotes on each flank. There we go. Ooh, zote spider crossbreeds. Sounds like something that that Throt would be into. Alright, let's ungroup, group, 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 group. Okay. And our Hawks can Vanguard deploy, so let us Vanguard deploy. I wish Drycha could get every unit to Vanguard deploy. That would make me very happy. Let's push forward. We no longer have to protect any archers. We got 2 squadrons of Vargeist here. I do not wish to engage that many flying units over there. Yeah, our army should be perfectly well equipped to deal with what we're up against here. Is this Manfred? It is. You want to go give Manfred a beating? Because that'd be great. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and give some attack orders here. A little bit too much blobbing. Let's push these out. Yeah, go ahead and attack the Zotes there, Bats. That seems like an appropriate idea. Let's bring our Hawks in. Vargas might win this fight, though, unfortunately. How are we doing over here? Where's me Zotes? Oh, you attack the spiders. You would. Zotes, get in here and help out. I'm going to use the Zote abilities to protect the spiders there. Drop some healing over there. Alright, so that'll work. And let's see how we're doing. Where did my tree man end up at? I thought he was supposed to be savaging Manfred, but one of them ended up over here. Let's get Drycha to drop some magic and some... Well, actually, let's drop the magic here first. 3, 2... Alright, go get Manfred. There we go. And let's summon some Dryads. And let's get back into Drycha. Use this special because then that'll get our summon ready a lot quicker. And let's go keep attacking these bats. Let's go help against this Grave Guard. Same thing here. Pull him over. And Drycha. Let's carve a pendulum path right through all this. That ought to have pretty well savaged those vampire units. And let's give them a solid finish here. Got another summon ready. Manfred's over here accomplishing nothing. Did we clean up the flank? Yeah, we did. Alright, that is gonna effectively be the end of the vampires here. They are getting absolutely owned. No point in even using that at this point. Do we have any more Graveguard in here? Nope, they're all gone. I was gonna say I was gonna use some more magic, but too late. Vampires already fell apart. Alright, so we're gonna get the trait for defeating Manfred, and see, this army is just so much more well-suited than what we had before in terms of owning the vampires. The extra tree man is gonna be almost impossible for the vampires to overcome, short of like concentrated Vargolfs or Blood Knights or something, because they just can't punch through it. The Zotes are gonna be way more than a match, like I said, up to, and honestly, they could probably trade all right with Blood Knights, depending on the situation, but without Blood Knights, because remember, I got the spiders to assist the Zotes, too, and so it's going to be ugly. It's going to be real ugly for the vampires to defend against this army. Now, my Dryads are good against anything lightweight in the infantry. They're not good against Graveguard. We could swap them over to that aspect of Birch, if we start to experience large amounts of Graveguard or something like that. I do want Prey of Anathema, so let's put another skill point here, because the Prey of Anathema would be quite helpful. Let's put a Waystone in here. Okay, alright. I think we are good to end the turn. I do have a comment here from some of the... it's Cullen who wants me to rename a tree man to the Lorax. We'll call him the Malevolent Lorax in honor of Dr. Seuss there. I need to remember to take care of that when this turn end is over. And Anthony Sauls is... he says, Elf walks into forest. Excuse me, can you tell me where the Oak of Ages is? Drycha cocks a shotgun and in a redneck accent says, yeah, it's back the way you came. Redneck Drycha. That paints a wonderful picture in my head. I love it. So, fantastic comment. Let's name the... Oh, whoops. I don't need to change his aspects. I just want to rename him. We're going to name this guy the Malevolent Lorax. There we go. Good name. I approve. Scent of Blood is here, and it's going to add Frenzy for all those forest units, which for now is, I think, pretty helpful. Putting Frenzy on them will certainly amp up some of their attack capabilities. Now, the vampires are likely to just counterattack me at Essen, but that's fine. I'm going to go retake Nagenhof. And, you know what? I'm going to leave the animation speed slower in case I misclick. I might be able to fix it. Let's occupy. Alright. Let's put some different buildings here. I'm not expecting to sit here and protect these things permanently. I'm just building stuff for the time being. Alright, yeah, I think we are ready to end this turn. And let's get some other comments here. Yawning Firefly says, what's your opinion on the new unit cards? Are you bothered by the quality, or is it not that important? I don't notice things like that. Like, I mean, I've heard a few people complain about the unit cards. I don't notice any real difference between the new unit cards and the unit cards we already have. So I don't know if maybe that kind of stuff bubbles up from people who are like, maybe they're like graphic designers or just more artistically minded, more visually minded like that. I'm a mechanical engineer by schooling. My brain is very math and science oriented. It's not very art oriented. And so there's little here that bothers me about the unit cards. Like they just look like unit cards to me. So hopefully it doesn't seem like I'm like downplaying your question. I'm not. If it bothers some people, I'd be interested to hear why. For me though, I don't get it. You know what I mean? It just doesn't bother me because it's not something that's on my mind. And it's probably a personal thing as to why it's not on my mind, because of what I just explained. But no, not something that's high on my mind right now. Jacob Tran says, I'm really starting to enjoy these campaigns. Have you considered changing the Grom campaign from cinematic into the campaign more like this? Yeah, Jacob, I'm already doing that because I don't have time to record the Grom campaign as a cinematic right now. And as you all may have noticed, whenever I limit my recording to roughly 30 minutes for a campaign video, roughly, you'll notice I do go over that just a little bit each time, I can get out 2 videos a day. And the problem in the past was when I'm going to dedicate an hour or more to recording a single episode, number one, I don't get any more views. Like, because I do have some people that are still commenting on it. It's like, well, can't you make these longer? Yeah, I can. It's of absolutely no benefit to me. In fact, it's to the detriment of everybody else. So not only is it not a benefit to me, it would be a detriment if you're a person who enjoys content on my channel. And let me explain that. For a long time, I was doing hour-long uploads in the campaign just to test it out and see, well, maybe I get more ad revenue because it's longer. And even if it gets, you know, the same or less views, maybe the ad revenue is worth it in the end because people will watch more of it. And if they're more engaged and stuff like that. Anyway, I tried it all out. It did not increase revenue. And in fact, the number of videos on my channel started to drop because I can't... I cannot record 2 videos that require me to invest more than an hour every day. I just can't invest that amount of time into recording on the channel. I can probably invest roughly an hour, maybe a little more every day. And so if I cut the videos down in length and get rid of some of the cinematic stuff, I can release 2 videos a day. And I can interact with comments like this along the way, which hopefully makes this nice for people because I get to take a chance to interact with you all. And so 2 videos a day, and soon, now that this is out, I'm actually planning on having some of those videos be multiplayer, not just strictly campaign. But I'll be able to put out far more content. That content will be more frequent, more predictable. And then whenever I don't have a big... Because in the past, I had to make sure that I had a little over an hour at a time to record, because it was going to take, you know, an hour of recording time plus some editing and other stuff. And what would happen is, well, my day job, something would get busy at the day job, and I didn't have over an hour to dedicate, you know, to recording. And so then nothing would get recorded. because I couldn't record the format that you all were expecting. So that's why I made a change to the format, because now I can put out more videos. This is better for my channel. I get more views. I get a better return for my time because I'm getting more views, and it makes the channel more successful. And then you all get more content. Like, so to me, it seems like a win-win, like a win-win-win. So that's why I'm doing it. If you're one of those people that enjoys the hour-long stuff, I'm sorry that, you know, I just can't do it. It's not something I'm going to be able to sustain, and so it's not really good for me to operate under the pretense that I can sustain it when I can't. So yeah, in any case, that's kind of the answer to that comment. Hopefully it helps you all understand what's going on. Alright, I'm going to use my units here. The vampires do have their towers, which is irritating. And I'm going to try and use my hawks to help out against stuff like this grave guard. So when my dryads do get up there, I'll send some hawks to attack, but then we're just going to bust the gate down and take the vampires out. This is going to be a fairly costly battle, actually. I don't expect this to be an easy one. If those Var guys come and engage us too, that's going to be bad. What is this, a Buna? No, Spirit Leech, just really good because it's a low unit model. Get up there. Alright, the gates should be coming down. I'm tempted to have my hawks just dive bomb these leaders. Crypt ghouls there. I mean, we're going to meet some pretty stiff resistance on the walls. It's going to get a little ugly. Alright, we got to push these tree men through. Take a little bit of damage here, but we got to push them all the way through to just clear out the door. And now let's bring in, I think, the Zotes. And let's go ahead and get some rear charges set up to help my dryads up here. Again with the Zotes, I'm going to try and pull them as far inside the doors as I can. Start attacking these zombies. Alright. Trying to fit all my Zotes through the door. Yeah, our trees are getting a little bit savaged up here. Let's dive our eagles into here and add some armor piercing to the mix. Let's get our treekin and try and get inside. Let's get Drycha up here as well. I think we can safely drop a Pit of Shades right here and help clean out some of this. Alright, yeah, that hurt the vampire infantry really bad up here with the combined hawks and dryads. Our dryads are struggling a little over here, a little overmatched. We're getting backed up too much because of the cavalry here, so let's get Drycha to put a pendulum across here, help clean some of this up. Can't get Drycha up here far enough to do. Whoops. Get up here, Drycha. Need to get a summon loose up here too. Let's put another Pit of Shades. Do this. Alright. That should clean out the clog of vampires that we have in the gates here. As soon as we get the gates unclogged, I'm going to be feeling pretty good about our chances. Let's push our Dryads in further. Let's get these units inside the gates. Our Dryads are doing surprisingly well, considering that they're fairly outmatched up here. I'm going to take these Great Hawks, and I'm going to push them over into this fight where they could use a little more support at the moment. Let's land into these Crypt Ghouls and see if we can dice them up a bit. Alright, the vampires have lost the gate. Let's push on through. Are losing a few Dryad units. Oh, those Hawks have been very helpful. They help chew up some of the armored infantry. Get in here, Hawks. Get them. Alright. Finish tearing those units up. These Dryads that are kind of beat up, let's just chill back here. And I'm going to take my tankiest units and move up here. For whom the bell tolls, vampire. Oh, wait, here's our Helm Gorst. Should we go have a duel with Helm Gorst? I think we should. Let's send a couple spiders and Zotes this way, too.
By your command, to war!
Just stay right there, Gorst. Halt, in the name of the forest law. Alright. How come you never used your... I hate the freaking Arrows of Kurnos. I swear it just doesn't work half the time when I use it. We got another Black Knight unit over here. I'm gonna pin these guys in. Alright, now the Black Knights can't run away. The Zotes are going to own them. Alright, what do we got going on over here? Let's go beat down this corpse cart with Balefire. Gorst is going to be getting owned over here. Oh, there's some Crypt Ghouls that came to join the fight. Zotes should be able to make short work of the Crypt Ghouls as well. Let those spells burn through. Alright, that's going to bring down the rest of the defenders. Send our Hawks over here to help out. Alright, Gorst just went down. Zotes are great against any of the large vampire units that we've run into so far. Stalker just sniped one of them as well. Perfect. Alright. Crunched all those units. That should disintegrate the rest of the vampires. And we're going to gain ourselves a solid victory here. It says Pyrrhic victory, mostly because of the number of Dryads that we lost. Otherwise, I mean, that was not even close. The vampires got absolutely thwomped. You know, we should also name our other tree man, like the Whomping Willow. I think that'd be appropriate. Let's get to some more comments here. Tohawk says, this is the only campaign of yours I'm watching. Well, I'm glad you enjoy it, and hope you continue to enjoy it. Thanks for watching. Jack Loy says, such a great series, but you could up the difficulty. It adds more to adrenaline. The difficulty's fine. Like, it's on very hard campaign difficulty. We're fighting battles against large vampire armies. What do you want right there in that battle? Do you want it to drag on for like another 5 minutes while my tree men beat up on units that just have higher melee defense? Like, I don't know. To me, it doesn't add a whole lot at the moment. I think later, if our armies are just ridiculously OP against who we're fighting, yeah, then we could turn it up to make the battles last a little longer. But that fight lasted for a good while. I mean, what else are the vampires going to do there? Like I said, all we'd be doing is just creating extra melee defense and leadership and just prolonging the battle a little bit right there. There's no way the vampires win that. They just kill more of my dryads and then die to my treekin and zotes and everything else because they don't have a way to fight back against it. So I don't know. I'm just not sure what it adds if I do that. I feel like that it's set pretty good right now. Let's see. Dark Heart adds more stuff for the cave bats, spiders, other stuff like that. I'm having fun with that. I want to keep working on that because it's kind of neat to see those units play in. And sure enough, they are fast and they hit really hard on a charge. The Great Hawks, I don't love their armor. But, I mean, it's pretty awesome what we're getting done with some of these units. So, Waldenhof is captured. And we're going to keep putting the hurt on the vampires here. Keep putting the hurt on them. So, Griffinwood. Let's go ahead. If I just save my cash, I think we can take the Griffinwood all the way up to the top tier, which we should get started on. Let's see. Let's go ahead and end one more turn here, and then I'll probably be done with this episode because I'm right up about my time limit. Let's see. Blake Beckham says, come down to Drycha's Griffinwood for all your murderous arboreal needs. We got human fertilizer, zombie fertilizer, even elf fertilizer. Call now, and we'll even throw in a free sacrificial elf unit, all for the low, low price of murdering everything that's not a plant. That is one heck of an advertisement. I like it. Thank you. Kirill says, air fertilizing the crap out of the vampires is priceless. I also like the way you said it there, fertilizing the crap out of, because, you know, the crap is also the fertilizer, so that was like a 2-for-1 there, and if it was intended, then I love it. Paul LaBeef says, why Angry Trees would trade lumber? Come on, CA. You kept this resource slot at Kaplan. Yeah, I know. It's odd. Small thing, but an odd thing. So, yeah, it is what it is. See, Louis says the defense of the Griffin Woods was epic and amazing. The end, the mass route is why you need the lower, the battle difficulty. It was beautiful to behold. Exactly. So if you raise the battle difficulty, it just kind of arbitrarily makes the battles longer and makes melee infantry suck, which then means that basically most of Drycha's roster will suck because she doesn't focus on elves. Can she recruit them? Yes. But clearly the point of this campaign is to get you to play with the melee stuff that is really, you know, centric for Drycha. And so if I just up the difficulty, I'm needlessly nerfing the Drycha experience here, you know? So I agree with that statement. It's just, and again, at the end, the mass routes take long. It's not, I don't know, it's not immersive and not that fun for me to do, so I don't want to do it. Some people are like, oh, well, you're not good. Yeah, well, say what you want. Don't really care what you think. Now, giving me the feedback that you'd like to see me do it, totally fine. Not dissing on people if you're giving me honest feedback, like, oh, I'd like that. I'm just saying if it turns into one of those cynical things where people are like, oh, you're not good if you don't do it. Okay, whatever. Think what you want, I'll be cynical right back at you. But, yeah, I don't have a problem with it when it's just someone, like, giving kind, you know, like, appropriate feedback and saying it. That does not anger me or upset me. I just, like I said, don't like it when it gets taken into cynicism, which it hasn't here, so I appreciate that. Watching Air play a Rush faction is the best. Well, I'm glad you like it. I like it too. Like I said, it's a nice change. If our faction was very missile-centric and magic-centric, then I probably would turn up the battle difficulty just so that the battles would last a little longer, because we'd be crapping on everybody really easily. Because missiles and magic are just stronger, as are certain single entity units. Wow, this army's pretty strong. Rather than auto-resolve this, I'll save it, and we'll start the next campaign episode here. So I hope you all enjoyed this one. HeirofCarthage signing out for now, and I will see you all soon.